always a struggle these days. Even if we go with the idea of production-wise, you know, it's coming. It's okay. This is cheap, but then it's the time to do it and to craft and bring the craft back. You know, that's one thing that I think is missing in the industry these days. So I'm hoping with this little session we're going to do about the products, UJAM company, they come up with some real good tools for anybody, right? Really, they try to aim to sell the product to people that don't know nothing about music, because their engine has so much to offer that it's kind of like you got some players, feeling of drummers, of keyboardists, and then some specific sound, and each module come with some sound effects engine that are really awesome. Like seriously, you don't see what's under the hood, but eventually by playing with the knobs, you start thinking, okay, this must be a saturator with a big compressor, and then there's a panner and whatever. So these things, obviously, it takes a while to get familiar with the tools because they have a bunch of it, okay? And I'm gonna actually, I know that the screen is not the best display right now, but I'm gonna actually try to show you how much of those they have. And it's pretty impressive. So literally they divided their stuff with package for drummers, right? Guitars, and then some bass, and then there's some effects, there's some synths. All of it is crazy. It's really amazing what they've done. And if you look at for instance, I'm going to just drop one, for instance, the BM Berserk. So what's inside there is a beat machine. So BM is for beat machine. So obviously there's no AI in it yet, but I'm guessing that'll be their next step. Still, without the AI, they come up with something where, you know, it's just this mic stand is funny. They come up with an idea that, okay, the AI was probably not yet fit to put in the product yet, but they have phrases that are like prepared. So it's kind of embedded, there's MIDI file in there, right? So in the engine, you always have a section where you have the instrument itself. For instance, here's the bass drum, the snares, and definitely this kit is for drum and bass, that's for sure, right? And that's the default preset. And all of those tools are like this. So you have a section for the instrument, just play it like if you're the guy, you know, okay, I play it, right? And then there's the style on the right. On the right, not only you go for style, but that's where you're going to find the phrases, okay? So meaning on my push here, the kick, the snare, the clap, everything is, you know, C1, C2, like normal, like drum rack. Everything is just normal, right? But the phrase, how do I access them? Then I have to go in the upper keys, okay? So everything for the drum rack is that you're used to would be around here, right? Same thing for all the separate sounds. But then if you want to play the phrases, you have to go up there. So literally just play with your finger like that. And obviously that's pretty loud. And you have a phrase. If I change pad, there's another phrase, right? And it just keeps on moving, right? Okay. So what's the idea behind this kind of way of presenting a plugin to you know, clients and people that want to produce music? It's to try to seduce them to be quick, to produce quick and sketch. A bit like a painter, you know, he's gonna, before do the big oil stuff, he's gonna on a canvas start scribbling with a pen rather than the brush, right? So I view this product exactly like that. Instead of going in Ableton and set up and trying to do sound design, I could do that, but if I do that, I spend a session just doing that. There's no music afterwards. It's just sounds, right? Okay, once I've got my package, then I can go in a session where I'm actually going to produce some music. But with this, everything is set up. So, and you have many genres. Like, okay, here I just dropped the Berserk guy, and it's for drum and bass. Okay, let's say I don't want to do drum and bass. Okay, so kill the guy, go get something else. Like what? I want to do something like techno. Okay, they have Beat Maker. This one is called Circuit. Check this out. You know, and all the phrase. totally like, you know, all those old machines are inside somewhere in those presets, and you can go and dial them through this menu. The kits are all there. Then the mix engine, that's where the effects are embedded, okay? The phrase are always accessible here. You can also assign stuff to be individually output in Ableton, or just have a master track like I have right now, okay? But regardless of what I'm doing, eventually I can drop the MIDI and redo the stuff. I mean, it's very easy to use and just do anything. Just be like, okay, I do this, I do that, and it happens instantly. Then the other stuff that's amazing about this bundle of plugins is that, okay, since they have all the phrase engine, I don't know if they thought about it, but I guess they did, because it's often, I'm gonna just randomly, and I'm gonna do this with you guys right now. I'm just gonna okay, I have already the circuit on this track, right, which is gonna be drums. Then I'm gonna go get some bass, okay? And since this is a drum machine electronic, let's take the U-Synth engine. The U-Synth has all the synth. It's kind of a big library, okay? Obviously, it comes with some add-ons, okay? So you have one module that you have is kind of the basic sounds, and then everything is going to be showing up as add-ons. The one that's the main one is called Core, and then you have the Deluxe. I think it comes with it, okay? But all the other guys are add-on that you need to pay a little something, and then you have all those crazy synths. So, okay, for this example, I'm going to stick to the Pixel one. That's a sound bank with kind of like a Crush video games, 8-bit sounds or whatsoever. So I'm just going to take a bass like that and just go for it. You know, I don't even want to listen to it, even though maybe I should. Let's try to play the bass. Does it play? Is there a problem? Did I select this? Yes, I did. So it should be playing.
It's recording the track.
No, okay, so there you go. So got some phrase here. So I guess the phrase they're more less upper than the regular ones, but regardless, it should work. It should work. It's going to be maybe a high pitch. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go get something else. For instance, let's bring some strings, maybe. Why not? Or maybe guitars. Let's go get some guitars. So for guitars, you see they're going to be a virtual bassist. I could have go for a virtual bassist, but I took a synth. But for guitar, let's take Sparkle 2, which is virtual guitar. I'm dropping it into a MIDI track. Oh, by the way, if you see stuff that you don't understand, you know, that I'm doing in Ableton, just ask a question, and I'll try to answer the best. So this is the Sparkle engine. It's a virtual guitarist, and it has a lot of different crazy noise. For this part, let's take something a little less crazy like that and go for electronic and try, I don't know, piano strings, something like that. That's way crazy. So this guy was on I don't know what. Let's take something like marching machine drum. Let's see. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I might have to play with some volumes eventually, but now you're starting to understand where I'm going with this. But how do you think I'm going to be able to control with one button those three guys? I have one push. I got my hands, my fingers, and I want to trigger all of those guys together, and it has to make some kind of sense. I mean, I'm in the creative process, so I can do something a little bit weirdo, and then I can rearrange too. So, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to open a track, MIDI track, and I'm going to tell that this is receiving my MIDI information, right? Okay. Now, once I've done that, all I need to do is say, well, where do you want me to MIDI to feed in the drum machines? So I'm going to say, basically, take it from MIDI 4. Get it in. Do the same for everybody. So everybody's played from MIDI 4. Okay. So I go in the assignment and just select the track that wants to get the input inside and say select monitor. And then with this setup, and I have to put the recording down there in auto, now I can sort of like go over the sounds and see that there's something going. I would just maybe turn this guy down, and I see he's playing a little bit the pitch higher. Like I said, it could be not the same way it's arranged, this patch. So for this reason, I'm just going to accommodate a bit. I'm going to take the pitch, put it just right in front, and go. I'm going to start with -12, right? Okay, so let's see now. And I have to come back to this. Okay, that's better. Now I'm going to try to see, because like when I try to do this, I'm not trying to be an engineer at the same time, right? So I accommodate if I feel that pressing a button. See, like this seems, I think I can work out something with this. I don't see a sound that disrupt the other. It sounded cool. Just my little pitch thing with the bass now is kind of suitable to try to do this exercise. So I don't need to record the MIDI in any of those tracks. Just this guy, which I'm going to call, you know, master trigger, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And once I've done that, I can set up a tempo if I want, with the tap tempo on the push or on the live itself. 120 for this exercise is going to be fine for me. Okay. So I don't even need to put the metronome. I'm just going to go hit record, just go nicely, super without thinking, and just see what's going to happen. Something like that, just for the exercise. So I'm stopping the recording. Now, obviously, what I have here is just some random stupid MIDI notes like that. If I would play this in a piano, it would sound like terrible. Yeah. That's for sure. Now, what I do is I try to arrange. Let's say I'm going to drag this guy now, or copy it. Okay, for now, I'm going to paste it here. I'm getting out of the input, so I don't want this guy to be playing anymore. This buddy, it's finished. Bye, finito. And I'm gonna close this guy and just listen to this guy, just by itself. And you can see that I should have entered right on the time, and I didn't. So I can arrange that just by stretching this guy, and just with the metronome, I can sort of like make sense. If I'm like type insturments or whatever, seems like it's not bad. Okay, but is there something I could change? Let's see. I'm gonna go with that. That's fine for me. Okay, so that's cool. So no more arrangement for this guy. Now I'm gonna do the same with the bass. So I'm taking the buddy here, copy it again, paste it over here, and do the same thing. Just let's pray. So fix this guy. Now why not play both of them together, right? Okay, so here one thing I see is that maybe the bass is kind of cool, but maybe we could arrange it so that everything fits more with the tempo and everything. So I'm going to just drag these guys a little bit like that. This guy like this, like that. And suddenly, because I've done these things, I'm kind of like more mathematically respecting the tempo, the times and everything, the time signature. So because of that, I'm just going to copy this guy over here now, because they'll be the same. And now let's listen to this. So it seems like this guy didn't copy. Yeah, okay, I just need to arrange it a little bit more. So I'm taking this guy, putting it really on the dials to make it really flush with everybody. Like that, like that. This guy's gonna go here, like this. And then let's stretch this guy, move all those buddy over here. Okay, that seems okay. So just copy it, bring it back over here. Alright. Now let's see the guitar. Obviously, I'm going to do the same thing here. So basically I have some clips already done like that very rapidly, and I could do this for, you know, a couple of ideas stupid like this, and then when I have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, I could start building a track afterwards. And then even, you know, often I do this with those tools, UJAM, but maybe I'm gonna select a different sound in the end. I could do that. It doesn't matter. It's just really, this is my pre-oil shot, right? I'm just sketching stuff and I do that. I'm going to show you, I think you understand the idea now. I'm going to show you some other projects that I did to show some other example, and also we'll hear different sounds coming from that engine. And by the way, when we finish this session, you're gonna, you guys, it's a good thing for you guys, because we were expecting a little bit more people, but we're gonna draw. You're going to put your name in a little whatever hat, and somebody's going to be receiving a license for one of those products, okay? So, just to let you know. Where's your logo, man? Because, by the way, we started this new location, and basically we don't see it in the background because we have some black curtain, but we're really in the heart of the city. The Quartier des Spectacles is right behind me. So, and this is all because of my buddy Peter, which you're not seeing right now, but Peter is always been a member of the group. He's always been there, and now he's actually the guy hosting and serving us some great tea. And so if you want to look him up, what's the website basically?
DASA, DASAMTL.com.
So DASA, DASAMTL.com. Obviously, we'll show the logo later on.
There's a 360 tour of everything there.
You can actually see the 360 tour over there, and you'll see it's not just this room. There's other goodies I'm not speaking about. You have to go there. Okay? All right, so that being said, let's get back to it. So yeah, really what I enjoy is that there's no, I don't feel like in a restraint when I'm working with these projects. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, happens, and I can really just reorganize it, because everything they package is quite okay, you know, so I can't really do something stupid. It's almost impossible unless I really try. Okay, which I can do, but for now let's take a look to this idea that I loaded. So basically for this example, what was the stuff that I loaded? Well, I loaded this package, the virtual drummer. This one is more dedicated for funky music. Okay, it's really funky at like to the bone. I can show you just here. If we try some pattern here, it should work. Okay, wait a minute, because that's okay. He's not assigned yet. There you go. So, Mr. Midi, all ins, please. Thank you. Okay. So you see the phrase, the way they work is all this style on the top right, where you see verse, chorus, special, and stop. So literally, see here I'm in endings. Okay, so if I move there, it's still I'm doing an ending. I could go and hit the stop button right there. So yeah, exactly. So it's just a good thing before you start to, you know, check what you have in the everything that's prepared before. And once you got the bit of the feel, then you can just go and lay out. But sometimes you just load them up and just start like that, and it's fun. And actually, I think for this project, when I started, it's exactly what I've done. I've not even tried to listen to nothing. I loaded the virtual drummer Fat, then I loaded the virtual guitarist, the Sparkle, which you'll hear in a minute, and I loaded this bass player here. So this is really a virtual bassist, and there's not only some phrases, but you can change the way the player behaves. Right now it's set to player, so really whichever you hear is somebody that actually fucking played these things. Okay, so let's listen to it. I did the same thing. Okay, the only thing that you'll notice, this was my first MIDI file, right? So obviously, if you look at the drums, they're different. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but there's some segment on the drums where, you know, I decided to stretch those MIDI notes because it was making more sense for what was playing, right? But at first I did play the whole thing, and if you want, I can actually just make you listen to the thing without the clips. Let's try that. Okay, so if I do this and say monitor, so you can see that my drums, they're not doing that pattern right now, and they're changing for no reason. So I was like, I noticed it. I said, hey, you know what? I did the same trick I showed you. I just dragged the files and I started playing around with the MIDI notes. So I stretch it, and then I got a different thing. So what happens when I play what I got? And it's the only thing I edit. The other guys are exactly the same thing. So if I go play this guy. So now what I'm going to show you is that, okay, eventually if I start building a sound on the arrangement view, I can go inside the automation line and start fucking around with everything here. The ambience, the reverb, the mix preset. I can change it, like literally if I do this, and I change to, say I go here. It's a different sound now. See, this is punchier, this rattles, this pumps. See, different compressor. Even I can change the drum kit. Just put it dry, fresh, you know, and then play with these things. Dial in how much of the virtual drummer I want. Okay, this is like how I do it. I dial more of the virtual drummer or less, so it's more like MIDI now. You know, the effects less or more. So these exist within each module. So that means once you've sketched out a few things, then you can fuck around with effects, and you don't need to load Ableton effects right now. Okay, they did create an effects which, did I use this one? Let's see. Yes. Okay. Let's listen to this one. This is the reverb. This is pretty good actually. I'm gonna try to make you. There's just stuff sometimes with the screen. Okay. Small screen is like that. So I'm going to press solo. And this is the reverb I put on the drum. It's a crazy reverb. This is the drum stadium preset. And if you play with this, the mix, you know, you'll get different tones. I mean, there's so many things I could fuck around. Obviously, I'm not going to waste all the day on it. But this is amazing stuff where, you know, I load it to create the pattern, but after that I can go and mess around with the automation because every knob on this thing can be manipulated, and same thing for each engine all the time. So the virtual guitarist, if we listen just to the tracks separately, so this is the drums, that's the guitar. I added some effects. You see, I use this. This is an effect that's part of the bundle, and they call it the retro finisher. So you see, I mixed it in a little bit. If I take this guy out, you sort of lose some of the grains on the side, and the reverb is not the same. Okay. Now, I did add this little EQ stuff just for whatever purpose. And then I did this guy too. This guy's adding some kind of delay, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of a delay and a bit of compression as well. Small compression, but it's mainly delay. whoops, it swamps the thing, which was okay for the song, and then I just use the gain. So again, these, I could get in and just check the presets. There's so many things. There's period, you know, like now is in the 60s, so they favor tools that were built in the 60s and used for production in the 60s. Same thing, 70s, 80s, 90s, so I could go with this, for instance. Whoops, we just changed the sound of the guitar. It's kind of more modern now, less swampy, you know. So really cool. These things are really nice. Okay, so let's try a different package just to show you different sounds that they come up with. So I'm going to load this project. Some of the I did push and create a full track. We're going to get there. But for the idea, I try to not overwhelm people because I think that's the cool part of it, right? And soon enough, I want you guys to come and try to fuck around with that. Okay. Okay, that's one where before playing it, I tried to pull as many as the tool to show the palette. Okay, so and you'll see that it's kind of an odd mix. There's upright, there's strings, but there's all kind of stuff, and even the drum pattern is weird. Okay, I made all this on purpose. And what I did see here, I did the same trick as always. I created the conductor track, and for this example, I'm not even recording or touching the MIDI. So I'm really just playing it from the input. And this was the conductor. So the conductor, like I view myself as the guy said, hey guy, you gonna do this? And this is the recording of the conductor. So if you follow the conductor, they trigger everybody through the song. There's some piano in there too. So that's another example. You see how with the effects it's really nice. Like I didn't even touch that much stuff in there, right? See, I got the gain. So I do gain stuff. That's it. Here I put one of their finisher, okay, and it's like grinders just to crush a bit the sound, okay, and it works fine. Then the virtual pianist. This is a really amazing product, I must say, okay, especially with the phrase section. This is the bliss for people that love piano but cannot play a goddamn note. Okay, so so let's try just to show you virtual pianist, because this is really amazing. Okay, so this is a patch called A Moment in Peace. Let me just not trigger anybody else, just this guy. Okay, there you go. So that's one full pattern on one MIDI file, and it respects the pitch, like, so it transposed basically. So really amazing stuff. It's capoté. They really worked out this virtual pianist, like really cool. I mean, I'm a big fan of this one actually, because especially look, they got 3 package. There's the score one, which I was using for this one, really good, aiming directly to do stuff for film cinema. Okay. The vibe one is cool because it's for like people that like chill hip hop. It's really good though. They just to give you a quick peek here. This is the pickup key. it sounds like very good, you know, like what to, wow. So I'm very surprised that they come up with such lush, you know, it's really cool. Hey, Mr. Peter.
Is there a Rhodes one?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a patch, right? So if I quit the engine that goes onto the patch, then here's the section to select the virtual pianist, okay? Now the instrument itself is around, this is the tempo, this is here where you can go through the different sounds, and through the names you're gonna go and let's say here's a piano, Rhodes, I think there's one,
Or Whirly or whatever.
yeah, it's like probably this one, I think, if I remember. It's been a while, I haven't checked those. Let's see, is that the one? Oh yeah, that's it, that's the one. That's a Rhodes. It's very tweaked, but it's cool. And the Rhodes sounds like cochon, I'd say.
And that big reverb, that's like in it too, or you have that extra?
It's in it, but you can control it.
Yeah,
you can take it out. You can just say, fuck you, I don't want it. I don't want chords. I don't want universal voicing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. And right now I was in the mode of player, so if I wanted to become just the instrument, and it has that reverb, right? So it's pretty cool. Like if the reverb is right here. So you got one is the finisher, so it has some tape saturation, and here's a slap back hi-fi. So if I take this guy off, c'est juste le saturation finisher that you hear. If I take this guy out, là il y a comme un son, a bark, je pense, c'est peut-être ça. So you play with this to make it dark or light as well. And then you can add some tingly bells or around the sound. I mean, there's a lot to explore and to mangle inside this machine. So you don't want to get the virtual player, switch it to instrument and you play it. Okay? If you think you're not enough advanced, then, oh, I got some phrase. And it's endless. Like I can go here, there's a bank of phrase, it's crazy. You got BPMs, they have names obviously, so you have to go and dive in it to see what they're all about. And you can always change your key to make sure that you're in the same key for everything. So yeah, this engine, I would recommend probably this one. And there's also the drummer pack called the Legend. These two together, if you want to do a bit of modern but with some kind of grit, they offer a lot. These two pack, really nice, really amazing ones. Okay, so let's move on, unless you guys have some question for this patch.
Can you automate the parameters?
Yes, exactly. Like if you open like the thing here, okay, I'm gonna close, and I would open this section here, let's say, and I wanna open here, I go, voila, and then I have all the parameters that I see on the machine. The finisher's there, the volume, I mean, everything's there. That's what I was saying, is that once I finish sketching, then I can go crazy with the effects and say, hey, tout calme, tout revient, and I could spend, like, to see how much knobs there is in there. So just for one guy, I could spend after a session playing with the effects of one track, and then I do the other one, and then eventually I'll come out with a final mix. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see this one, because there is one that I think I finished. Yeah, there's two actually. What time is it now? We should I guess we're gonna be about to end this, because in a sense I want you guys to try this also to get familiar a little bit. Okay, so this one, okay, that's new, perfect. Let's go number 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go show you 3 very patch quick, and then the last one I'll show you one thing that I've done. It's not totally finalized mix, but I mean it's kind of close to it. Okay, so again, this one, same thing. I don't even know what it is. Let's see. That's very like basic stuff, happy music. So, you know, for people that would do quick advertisement advertisement pitch,
Right.
and you want to just write a little something for an ad, you know, like boom, you do this fast enough. Here I loaded this, I did that in 3 minutes or something, you know, it's just easy. Yeah, c'est ça, je sais, mais là, le micro, là, il va falloir que je me mette un micro à cravate, c'est clair. It's very difficult to be always talking through that mic. Okay, let's see for the other patch here. Number 5. Okay. Nope. Obviously, like, oh, ok, yeah, ça, je m'en fous, ça. Ça, c'est un plugin que j'ai mis, mais c'est pas grave. Okay, let's see where that plugin is. See who j'ai mis. Okay, that's the guy. So I guess it was just to give it a little bit of tone, but it doesn't matter. Let's see what it is. So basically there's one drum pattern, right? Then there's this bass. And this is just addition to support the rhythm and the beat. And this is kind of like whatever the fuck. It gives the ambience, and then sometimes it jumps like that. And so for here, you know, I used the harpex to even, you know, trigger those things. And that's where, when you start messing around with UJAM and then the tools of Ableton, it's just wild. It's really wild. So when you start being familiar with all the tools, the different sounds, and how to set it up, now you dare to add what you know about Ableton. And now that's where it's really, really amazing. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you one thing that's almost there. Where is it? It should be, this one is on this drive here. There we go. So I can't remember the name of that though. What's the name of that patch? I think it's that one. Let's try. Oh, it's a huge patch. Oh, that's a real huge patch. Okay, that's it. That's one song that, okay, I put all the MIDI in the arrangement view this time. So what I did use some sounds that I turned into some other machines. So like what I did, I worked some sounds in UJAM that I re-imported in Ableton. Okay? And then from there, I did some other MIDI on the other side. And this is the result. So to me, that's where you do the joint where you do your first drawing, you have those super crazy sound ideas, then you re-import them in samples, and then you can just, with Ableton, bring it to the next level, right? This one is more arranged. From the legend pack of UJAM, okay? And before the other instrument comes, I fuck the beat to make it weird, just to get here. See? really like popish, almost European type. And it's real bass though. I couldn't support the virtual basses, so I played. Maybe there's some hits of snare that I use another UJAM sound that I mix. I think I did that because I'm hearing this now. That's it.
Wow.
There you go. Okay, so that's the UJAM products, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the session and that you saw that it has a lot of potential. Okay. Another thing I suggest, I mean, watch for.